I remember reading an interview back when Days Go By was released, and you said that you didn't want such a long gap between your albums, that there was a 4-year gap back then, and here we are 9 years later.
Yeah.
What happened, man?
Maybe this time I should say, God, I hope it's a long time before the next record, and maybe it'll flip it.
Yeah.
Careful what if you know. Yeah, I mean, it really just, there's a lot of reasons why it took so long this time. You know, we tour a few months out of every year, and when we're touring, we don't write anything. We're not recording. Dexter went back and got his PhD. But really the main thing is about 2 years ago, we hit this really creative period where it made us kind of look at everything we've got, and a lot of the stuff we've set aside, a lot of the stuff from before we've set aside. And most of this record is all pretty new stuff. So really it just took us this long to get a record compiled that we felt really strong about, that we thought was, you know, especially after such a long time, we didn't want to put out something that wasn't really good, you know, really strong record. And we finally got that. And we were about to put it out when the pandemic hit. So that did kind of make us take another look at it and, you know, maybe polish some things here and there, tweak a few things, you know, and eventually we went, man, this record's done. We got to get it to the fans. We can't wait anymore.
Yeah. So Let the Bad Times Roll, many people read to that title as your response to the state of the world in the last few years. Is there any truth in it?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's you know, people are upset everywhere. I mean, there's protests happening in the streets in almost every country in the world right now. You know, then you add a pandemic on top of that. You know, there's a lot of injustice, a lot of anti-democratic forces at work, and pro-democracy forces trying to fight them back. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's been more than a month now since the album was released. The response was great. I had it on repeat since the day it was released. It got your highest chart in the position, highest chart position in the UK. It also, the title track is the #1 rock song in the radio in the US for 2 weeks now. How do you feel about this response? And there was any anxiety because of your long absence? Did you thought that the fans might have not forget about you, but didn't have the same interest in your band like the days before?
Yeah, sure. You always worry about that. It doesn't matter if it's 4 years or 9 years, you know, you're always kind of worried. Whenever you're putting out anything new, you're worried, are the fans going to like it? Is it going to resonate with your audience? So I don't, you know, we're always worried about that. Maybe a little bit more after such a long period of time, of course. We just kind of really looked at these songs, and they just kind of worked together, and we put them together in a you know, a sequence that we thought felt good to us. You know, we knew that Coming For You it's a song that we released, you know, about 5 years ago, but we knew that was going to be part of a record eventually. So we put it on this record. Opioid Diaries is a song that we've been playing live for a couple of years, but we never released a studio version of it. You know, but we knew that was going to be on this record. And then, you know, Let the Bad Times Roll was you know, a good track to kind of tie the whole record together. So we knew that was going to be on there. This Is Not Utopia seemed like a good song to start off with, you know, so you do kind of, we do take all these things into consideration, and ultimately it comes down to how do we feel about the sequence and the songs, and, you know, what tracks should and should not be included.
And maybe Coming For You must be the first single of an album that comes 6 years later. I don't know if there's any other example.
Pretty much
for this. Since we don't have time to do a track-by-track analysis for the whole album, I want your opinion on some of my favorite tracks on the album. First up, it's Behind Your Walls. Maybe my favorite song on the album. Such a great song, a great build-up.
Thank you. Yeah, I like that one too. That one isn't getting as much notice as some of the others. This is
I know.
song, but I think that might be the sleeper on this record. I think that might be the one that eventually keeps coming back into people's consciousnesses. Kids Aren't All Right was that record, that song on Americana. That was the one that kept kind of coming back and people kept, you know, referring to. So I hope that happens with Behind Your Walls, because that's one of my favorites on this record. You know, of course, I've been living with it for a lot longer than most of the fans, but thank you for bringing that one up. That's one of my favorites as well.
Yeah. The next one is a little bit controversial. We Never Have Sex Anymore. It seems to me like a sequel to Me and My Old Lady for Mixney on the Hombre.
Sure. And, yeah.
And let me just say that I have a 1-year-old son, and it's his favorite tune.
Okay, good.
He listens to it every night before he goes to bed. Can you tell me a little bit more about the song?
Yeah, the song was written originally just on acoustic guitar, and it was just 3 chords, A minor, F, G, I think. And then, you know, then we kind of filled it out around that. But it was really just kind of a funny song that we would play on acoustic guitars 20 years ago. And then Dexter started fleshing it out more and really wanted to kind of orchestrate the horns in it. He just kind of, he wanted it to have kind of a funny, playful feel to it, because it can be a serious, depressing subject, you know, but it's also something that anyone who's been in a relationship for more than a couple of weeks knows what it's like when that passion waxes and wanes, right? So, you know, and especially anyone who's got kids, you know, all of a sudden it focuses on raising children and not so much the passion with your significant other as much.
I know.
So that, you know, ultimately we finally got it done. We wanted it to be playful, you know, and a tongue-in-cheek song about kind of a serious subject.
Yeah. What about Hassan Chop? Such a throwback to your old days, and one of your heaviest songs ever, I might add.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's certainly fast. It's so fast, you know, and that kind of stuff, you know, Dexter will come up with, you know, kind of like that, you know, at least of the verse and choruses. And then we add the breakdown is something that the guitar solo part is something from an old song that we did 35 years ago, that he kind of incorporated in this to kind of, you know, add some dynamics to the song.
You played here in Greece just one time back in 2008. Do you remember anything from that show? I had a fractured rib watching your show.
Oh, no, yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, I know we played with Marky Ramone and Susie and the Banshees.
Yeah, and Flogging Molly was there too.
It was a great show. There was pine trees all around. It was a beautiful kind of park area where we played. I got to go visit some of Athens earlier in the day that day, go and have a nice meal. And yeah, I want to go back. Unfortunately, that was our only time in Greece. And we've got some great Greek fans. They're always hitting me up on Twitter. There's a couple that are always in. There's Vanessa, and then this one old Greek fan. Is the handle he goes by. So yeah, we have some great fans in Greece for sure. Yeah,
please tell me that we will see a sequel of How to Birdwatch on YouTube. The video.
Okay, yeah. We've got a bunch of other ideas for those how-to videos. Yeah, maybe the next one will be fishing, how to catch fish with Noodles.
Before we close, one last thing. Please tell me we won't have to wait another decade for a new record.
Yeah, I'm not going to say it. Maybe if I just don't say anything, it will happen faster.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time, Noodles. I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.